I just want to introduce to you Lucy. Some of you might remember Lucy. Lucy came and shared her testimony with us way back in June 2019. And I know many of you were really sort of touched by her story. So I thought it would be good to reconnect with her and kind of see where she's up to, and also what God's been doing in her life up to this point. So for a start, Lucy, just kind of recap on your story and then go on and tell us kind of what's happened since we last heard from you.
Yeah. So I'm related to your wife, Christine. That's how we know each other. And yeah, I was last down in Cornwall with my cousin on holiday in June 2019, and shared my testimony then. So I've always been brought up in a Christian household, always been to church, and just been through all of like Sunday school and then youth groups, and got lots of Christian friends. A bit about me. So back then, I'd just finished my second year at the University of Liverpool, and last summer, so summer 2020, I graduated with a first in communication and media. I'm now doing a master's in broadcast journalism, and yeah, my dream's to sort of present regional news or further afield, national, wherever it takes me. What else has happened since then? So something funny that happened. So when I was back with you guys in June, I just started sort of getting to know my now boyfriend, which you all wound me up about. So that's been a nice sort of thing. And also I was speaking about sort of the struggles I'd had in my life because I have cystic fibrosis. And there was, in fact, I'd just been on the news in the morning when I then came and spoke to you all. And it was about the campaigning I was doing for some drugs that weren't being funded for people with CF, but would treat the root cause of CF. So I was busy campaigning for that in 2019 when I last saw you, and I was speaking about how, it wasn't happening, but I trusted God and that it would, and that, just that I trusted that God would look after me and that he would answer the prayers of many people that were praying for it. So then, very happily, I think it was the 24th of October 2019, the government did make a deal with the pharmaceutical company. So we did get those drugs accessed, which was such a answered prayer and also a big relief. So I just wanted to thank everyone who prayed for that, because that really meant a lot.
How's that transformed your life then, this new drug?
Yeah, I took my first dose February 2020. Within hours, I'm not exaggerating, I noticed the difference. So my chest wasn't as tight, I could breathe a lot more easily, had more energy, was just a lot more healthy. And my lung function went from mid-60s to it's sort of in the mid-80s now, which is really good. It's within normal range. As I said, I've had so much energy. So in September, when lockdown was a bit more eased, if that's a word, I did a half marathon and just raised money for the charity. And yeah, it has given me sort of a future, and it's been life-changing. So it's been really, really good in that way.
Brilliant. So actually a lot has happened to you then during this pandemic, in that you started taking the drugs and then we went into lockdown, but you've obviously continued to build up strength during that time.
Yeah, and 2020 was a difficult year. I obviously had to shield, so I didn't see anyone other than my mum and dad for about 22 weeks. I didn't see my boyfriend or anyone, so that was hard. But it wasn't in any way as scary for me, because of these drugs, it has given me a stability. So for me, like 2020 was probably a really, really good year because I was lucky that I was safe in my home. I was lucky that I was on these drugs, and I was lucky that they had helped my health. And obviously, sort of, I finished uni and, you know, just sort of focusing more towards my future. So it has been really good. And I think when you're asking me sort of about my testimony and everything now, I would say that something else that's happened since then is I got baptized. I renewed my baptism vows because I was christened when I was a baby. And so I felt that I wanted to do that when I was at a church service, and it was talking about, do we believe all things will work together for our good, or some things? And I kind of used to think some things, but then I wanted to just like put all my trust in like that all things will work together. So I got fully immersed, and that was literally the weekend in October that the drugs were made available. So it was a really emotional week for us. And I just feel like God has protected me so well through the pandemic, but also up until this point as well.
Yeah. So it's a testimony of God's faithfulness over this period for you. Yeah. And obviously you're doing a master's degree now.
Yeah, that's busy, all online. Really good fun learning about TV and radio. And I'm also doing a podcast, so that's exciting too.
Yeah, great. So just as we're coming up to Easter, just wanted to ask you a question. What does Easter mean to you?
I was thinking about that, and I think that for me, I much prefer Easter to Christmas in terms of sort of a Christian festival. I always feel very reflective and very moved by Easter. I think that it's like such a big sacrifice, and I think it always becomes very real on like Good Friday, and then on Easter I always feel like so much joy. Normally at church we have this sunrise service where we go to the like local wetland centre called Martin Mere, and they do like an outdoor service, and you can hear like the birds rising and everything, and we're all just like singing and so thankful, and I think it's a really, really nice time. So yeah, I really love Easter.
Yeah, great. Well, thanks for sharing with us today, and we really appreciate it. And we'll keep praying for you that you carry on going from strength to strength. But thank you for being so open with us today. Yeah.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, God bless.